Good morning, everybody.
Whoa.
Welcome back to the program.
Toys and more toys.
We knew that JCD and Hobby was going to be coming in. And whenever Jason comes in, he always has goodies. But I think you've outdone yourself here today.
This is amazing.
I just picked up a huge collection last week. I drove to Omaha, spent a little over $20,000 on it. And,
Whoa!
And all Star Wars?
All Star Wars, nothing
All
but
Star Wars.
How did somebody get a hold of you? How did they find you and ask you whether or not you were interested?
It was actually another shop in the area
way.
over there, and one of his employees had collected this for 20 years and wanted to remodel a house. So he had mentioned that he might get this, and I just hounded him every day for 2 weeks. I was like, hey, man, you get that collection yet? Hey, does that come in? And finally, he's like, yes, but I need this amount. So I was like, all right, hopped in the van, drove over there, picked it up.
Just that quick?
That quick.
Okay.
It was happening on a Thursday at 11. I left at noon. We were there by 2. I was back by 8, so.
Unbelievable. Okay, so you said you paid around 20 grand.
20,000.
20,000 for this collection.
Yeah.
Why are we spending that much money on old Star Wars toys?
Well, Star Wars in the last 10 years has just been phenomenal. I mean, after they release those other episodes and the new ones that have come out, the Han Solo, the single ones, and all this stuff, it just keeps the new fan base growing.
Now, with the schedule they have now, where you know there are movies coming out, that's going to be to your benefit, isn't it?
Big time. And so it just makes this older stuff even worth even more, because these guys that collect this, that start getting in their 20s and 30s, start realizing, well, there's stuff before I even thought about it. Because the 90s stuff, those guys are, probably about 25 to 30. The guys that collected the stuff in the 90s. Now this stuff, the average collector on this is probably about 40 to 45 that collected this as a kid.
And they like the classics, and obviously in the box is the best way to go. So let's start over on my side and talk about how valuable some of these things can be.
Right there you're looking at what they call the Power of the Force, the last 17. It's kind of what, when you collect Star Wars, you start from 77 to 85. There's about 88 figures in that run.
88?
Then you go into this collection right over here, what they have little coins in there.
Yeah.
There's the last ones, and they weren't very popular at the time. So they didn't make as much of that stuff. It was towards the end of 85, Return of the Jedi had been done with for a year or two. These were coming out. So not everybody collected this stuff. Everybody, they just kind of got left by the wayside. So the average of those is, $200 to $500 a piece in the package.
I was going to say, you picked some of these up, and I apologize, we're not able to show all of them, but we have Luke, kind of a popular character
Poncho
here.
Luke, yep.
Poncho Luke, excuse me. and we're talking $300 just
$300
just for this one alone.
No, what did they go for originally?
About $1.88.
$1.88?
Yeah, I remember. See, I'm 42, so I remember buying this stuff as a kid.
Whoa!
Going and getting
Collect all 62. Oh my gosh, do we have 62 of them here? I don't know. There's quite a few. Unbelievable. And something else I want to show, even the instructions.
People collect all sorts of aspects.
You have
of
this
stuff.
in plastic, so even just the instructions somebody might want to
So
put
what is
this
that?
part of the collection.
What's she holding instructions for there?
The AT-AT, the big walker. We've got the box down there. So you got guys that collect this stuff in the package, and you also have people that collect this stuff loose. And there is good value on the loose stuff, as we were talking a little
so
bit
it doesn't
ago.
necessarily need to be in the package.
Let's look at the first one here. We'll start here. Now, what are we looking at here? What's the first one?
EV-99.
EV-99.
Just one of the last of the Power of the 17, like those right there. But
And if you zoom in on it, you can see what the price tag is on there for this little figurine out of the
$200.
box. Okay, that's $200 for that one. Are you going to zoom in here?
That's what impresses me, is that it's out of the box, but we're still
these
getting
are
that big
in
numbers.
really good condition too. Pristine. Condition means a lot, especially when they're out of the package. They got to look like they weren't played with.
Okay.
Because it definitely there's price tiers and there's collectors tiers.
We're going to move this one out of the way and move the next one up here. Slide that one up. And who is this here?
It's called the Blue Snaggletooth. It's one of the top 10 figures collected in the line. It was a mail-away exclusive through Sears, so not everybody got it. It came with one of the Land of Jawa sets, and you could mail that away and get that. So the regular Snaggletooth is like red and it's about half the size. Most people don't even know that even exists.
So what's the price?
They do now.
What's the price tag on this one?
I'll get $400 to $500 out of that one.
Out of this one here.
And that's loose. That's not in the package.
And there's not even a coin.
I can't go over to Sears and say, help me out.
Not unless they're digging out the old warehouse.
And who's this guy here? He's got a nice mug on him.
He's called the Yak Face. He's one of the last Power of the 17. Loose, he's $600. On the card, he's anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000.
What?
He's one of the top 5 Holy Grail figures. I mean, there's, like I said, you get that line in the package. One we sold, I wish I would have been able to bring, is called the Vinyl Caped Jawa. Sold that for $1,500. In the package, it's $4,000.
So now you're starting to understand why 20 grand wasn't that bad when you were buying the collection.
We sold $12,000 in 2 days. Right out of the gate.
Wow.
Based on what
I had 4 guys that come in and I knew what they wanted before. That's why I had a chunk of the sold.
You knew what you had, but you still have a lot here, as you're seeing this morning. Let's talk about some of the other things we have down on the floor besides just some figurines. What else are hot right now?
Boxes, and like I said, the loose figures.
Those are just the boxes.
Those are boxes. Guys that
Just
collect just the
Just
boxes.
the boxes.
Now, the vehicles with the boxes add more, and then when they're sealed, they're 3 to 4 times. I think we sold a sealed TIE Interceptor. It was $450. Now, out of the package, it's $80. So there's definitely people want
There's
that
levels.
stuff. Yes.
Now, is there a place where you can go and see what the value of some of these items are? Is it just best to come in and talk to you because things fluctuate?
It does fluctuate, and like I said, in the last couple of years, this stuff has just kept going up more and more because the movies have brought to it. But the rarity of this type of stuff is getting less and less out there. We used to see, when I first opened up, we'd get a ton of this stuff coming in. Now I don't. That's why I jumped at the opportunity to go buy this collection because it wasn't something I see.
Let's talk about posters.
Vintage
how about
posters,
this?
yes.
What is this worth anything?
Just an 80s poster, it's probably $50 to $75.
What?
For a
I'm putting
poster?
I'm putting this back down. I don't
Now
want to
you
touch
start
it
getting
anymore.
to the original movie theatrical posters, you can be $200 to $600 a sheet. Then it depends on how nice they are.
That is absolutely hard to believe. But again, just for something that simple that people kept in decent shape is worth it.
Well, Star Wars is just one of those things that people collect everything. The guy that I got some of this stuff from, he collects toothpaste, Frito-Lay display case. I mean, all the weird, rare stuff that has value to it, and they love it. The guys that go in different levels, they go after all this stuff.
Have a Star Wars shine.
Tell them I have an MC Hammer tube of toothpaste. I'd love to sell them. Okay, if people are looking to sell or buy, obviously JCD and Hobby is all about this. Besides all of the other wonderful things that you guys do and collect, how can they get in touch with you, or what's the best mode of action?
Email, Facebook. I answer both those.
Okay.
Get a hold of me on the phone. I'm at 3 stores, so it's kind of hard to track me down. But if you send me an email or Facebook message, within 24 hours, I'll get back to you.
Okay.
And like I said, you see the higher price stuff, but we also cater, like I said, the average guy in the shop is probably $15 to $25.
Okay.
Now you start getting into like a loose Darth Vader, $40, very affordable.
Okay.
Not something that's 150, 200. And on the card though, it's $300.
Okay.
But we look for condition on this stuff.
Still a little something for
You can get a
everybody
little
if you're
Darth
wanting
Vader
to be
for
a
under 50
collector.
bucks.
We've got a lot of guys that come in that can't afford to get
Absolutely.
$300 and everything, you know. So.
Okay.
Perfect price
Love it.
point too.
Remind us really quickly your 3 locations.
Southeast 14th Street is our main location. We just moved to 22nd Street next to Chuck E. Cheese, and today I'm actually moving our Myrtle Hay Mall location from the lower level, kitty corner, up to a store that's twice this size. So
There you go.
When I get done with this, I'll be moving all day. So
Always growing.
works.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Looking forward to stop by and see it. When are you going to be moved in there? Totally.
tonight.
Tonight. All right. He's not wasting any time.
Take
so
some
you can
things
get
off
there.
his hands so he doesn't have as much to move.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you,
Yeah, I
man.
appreciate you guys having
All
me
right,
on.
JCD and Hobby,
you.
folks. One-of-a-kind store in 3 different locations. We'll be right back. This is CW Iowa Live.